Today we'll see in this session how we can copy and paste the data from one source to another source. First we'll see how we can copy the data from one cell to another cell. Okay. Before writing any program, I told you we have to save the file. So what we'll do, we'll try to save the file. Say Control S, and then I'll go to that location, and we have created one folder where we save all our working files. And then say VBA class 2, and we'll save it as macro enabled workbook. So this is the first step always. I will save this. Next step is, in the previous session I told you we'll also learn about how to make the code standardized. Okay, so standardization of the codes. So once I do this, what I'll do is I'll try to rename the objects. Objects in the sense what all I'll be using for writing the macros. Say for example, I'll be using my sheet. So that is an object. I need to rename it. The reason why we should rename, I'll tell you. The reason of renaming the sheets or say any objects is it will be easy for me to recognize on what object I'm writing the program. Okay, so when I'm actually writing a program, let's say I'm using this sheet, what we'll do is we'll use say WKS. This is a prefix, that's all, to understand what object I'm actually working on. So WKS is worksheet. Some people use SHT, some people use WKS. So it is left to you, but make it a standardized prefix as WKS or SHT. I'll go here, I'll say WKS. And since I am working on copy and paste, I'll type it as copy. Fine. This is for the sheet name. Now to go to VB editor, what we should do, I'll say Alt F11 and I'll go to this editor. And if you can see, I have the sheet one, which is actually the code name, WKS copy, which is the sheet name. So in the previous session, we discussed about we will be using this code name for writing the macro. So what I'll do is I will rename this code name as well. To rename that, I'll go to property window. Let me just copy the same thing and paste it, or you can type, or I can just copy and paste the same thing. Now if you see, I have this code name and sheet name very similar. Now to write a macro, I told you we should go to this insert and I'll say module, that is standard module. Say F4 and here I'll say mod underscore copy. See, I'm using this mod, that means this object what I'm using here is a module, and I'll say enter. Now I'm ready for writing the macros. Without renaming also I can write the macros, but keep in mind people, if you are naming it, it will be very professional, very easy to understand on which object you are writing the macros. Okay, fine. Now we'll start writing the macro. First we'll understand how to write a macro copying from one cell to another cell. I'll say sub, that is subroutine, space. I'll say copy data, say cell. That means the macro what I'm writing is to copy from one cell to another cell. Let's go back to my Excel sheet. Here I'll say in D5 ITAS. I want to copy this. Say the value what is there in D5 and I'll paste it in H5. Alt F11, the WKS copy dot range of D5 dot. Now in the previous session we learned about say dot value, wherein it was taking the value from that cell. Now what I'll do, I'll say dot, since I'm doing this copy, I'll say copy and I'll say enter. So what will happen is whatever the data is there in D5, that will be copied. Now I'll say WKS copy dot range of Now I should think about the destination where I'm pasting. I'll say h5 dot paste special. See, let me execute this program. I'll say fi. You can see d5 value copied to h5. Let's go back. This is for copying from one cell to another cell. Next, we'll see how we can copy data from one range to another range. Let me make a quick one range. I'll say, see, I have 5 cells. This I'll copy and I'll paste it here. Same code, sub copy data underscore, I'll say range. Now what we're doing here, we're trying to copy one range. WKS copy dot range of say D5 to D9. So this is how I'll be mentioning the range. This is hard coded value. I'll tell you how to get the dynamic address in the coming sessions. Now what we're doing here, taking the address hard coded, that is from D5 to D9. Say dot copy. Next, WKS copy dot range of say H5 dot paste special. Now you don't have to give H5 to H9 because when I'm copying and pasting, I'll just select only one cell and I'll paste, right? So similarly, in program as well, I'll copy the range and I'll say H5 dot paste special. Now let me execute this, say, copied and it pasted the whole range. Next, let's say have some value. I'll try to put a formula here. I want to copy this value which is their formula and I'll paste it here. See, I'll copy this and if I paste it here manually, I'll get some error. That means this copying with formula. Go back, sub copy data. I want to paste it as just values, not a formula. I'll say WKS copy dot range of F5 to F9. I'll say F5 to F9 dot copy. Then let's say WKS copy dot range of, we'll paste it here in I5 dot paste special. If I say paste special, like what we did previously, I'll say I5. See, it just copy and it will paste. It is like Control C, Control V. But what I want to do, let's say I'll copy this paste special as values. So if you want to do this, so what I'll do, I'll go here. After the space special, I'll give one space. Once I give the space, see, I'll get so many options which is for paste special. Now let me go and select this paste as values and I'll say tab. Now let me execute this. Say F5, see, copied and pasted. Can you see this? It pasted as values instead of formula. Fine. Next, let's say I'll copy this and I'll put it here. Let me just make a single decimal. Then I'll try to change the color of it. Make it bold. Change the font style. And here we'll change the font size as well. And I'll put a border here. Now I have a format here. I want to copy this format and paste it here. Now I'm copying only the formats. I'll go back. How to copy and paste the formats? I'll say sub copy data underscore formats. Say WKS copy dot range of I2 dot copy. So everywhere I'm using this dot copy. That means I'm just copying. While pasting, I have to use different options. WKS copy dot range of. Now I'm copying this. I'll be pasting from I5 to I9. I'll say I5 to I9 dot paste special. Now I need the copy formats. I'm selecting this paste formats, and then I'll execute this F5. See, the same format, whatever was there here, that will get pasted here. Okay, so paste formats. Now, once you do this, Control Z will not work. Keep in mind, any actions, what you're doing through code cannot be undo. Okay, so be very careful with these things. Let me save this. Fine. So we learned about how to copy and paste, then paste as values, then paste as formats. Next, we'll see how we can copy and paste the column width. Let's say I have a column width here like this. I want the same column width for these three columns as well. Same column width for these three columns. Let's go back. Sub copy data. I'll say column width. Say wks copy dot range of. Let me copy this. Say i5 dot cop. wks copy dot range of. Let's say copy from d5 to f7. d5 to f7 dot paste special. I'll say column width. Say I'm just trying to paste this column width. Now I'll say F5. So whatever column width was there here, that will be pasted in these three columns. Okay, fine. Next one. Next we'll see how we can copy and paste this one as a transposed values. Transpose in the sense, say copy, Alt ES. Can you see this? I have this transpose. Let me select this, and if you say OK, see, it will get transposed like this. Let's go back. Let me clear this. Sub copy data, copy from D5 to F9, say transpose. Okay, so wks copy dot range of, say D5 to F9, say D5 to F9 dot copy. Next, I need to paste. Let's say I'll paste it in D12, but in a transposed way. I'll say wks copy dot range of D12 dot paste special. Now, if I say paste special, and if I run this program, the same data it will copy and it will paste. But my intention is to paste it as for say transpose. I'll give a space. Now I'll get this paste as values or whatever. I don't want to do anything here. I'll put a comma. That means I'm trying to bypass the parameter. Now it allows for some operations, which is again the next parameter. I don't want to do anything with this. I'll say comma. Next parameter will be skip blanks. I don't want to use anything here. I'll say comma, and I'll say true. That means this transpose, what you can see, the highlighted parameter, I'll say true. Now let me run this. Say F5. See, copied and it pasted. Let's go back. Clear this. This part, whatever I did, might be a little confusing. Saying that why should we actually give these three blank commas? This is for different parameters which I don't want to pass. But for transpose, I need the parameter, so I'm using this true value. But instead of that, I have one more method where I can use a sub copy data underscore, I'll say transpose to, say wks copy dot range of, say d5 to f9 dot copy. Then here I'll say wks copy dot range of d12 dot paste special. Everything is same, but here what I'll do, instead of giving all this comma 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 and true, I'll directly type transpose colon equals. This is nothing but the name of this parameter. That means directly I'm going here by giving the name of that parameter, and then I'll say true. Both are same, anything you can use, but here what I'm doing, instead of doing all these parameters, I'm just directly going to the parameter name, and I'm saying just pass this true to this parameter. Now if I say F5, see, I'll get this data copied and pasted as transpose. Fine. Next, we learned about how to copy and data within this sheet. What if I want to copy the data and paste it in different sheet? Let me go here. I'll say WKS report. Now I want to copy and paste the data into this sheet, which is WKS report. Let me rename this sheet. Copy this, paste it. Yes. Say sub copy data underscore. I'll mention it as sheet. WKS copy dot range of D5 to D9 dot copy. Now I need to paste it in different sheets. So what is the sheet name? I'll say WKS report dot range of, let's say I'll paste it in D5 dot paste special. Or if you want anything, say paste special as values or formats or whatever, I'll say FI. See, I use this different sheet. Now the data from here got copied and pasted here. So suppose if you want complete table, I'll just change the address here. Say FI. See, this data got copied and pasted in different sheet. Okay, so this is for copying and pasting. It's a simple program. I'm just trying to teach you guys how to copy and paste. So this will be working on more complex programs as in when you start learning more and more the simple programs. So here once again I'll repeat, I'm trying to copy the range and paste it. This is from one cell to another cell. This program will actually tell you how to copy a range and paste it into another range, then copying the data which is there as a formulas or different format and paste it in different range as values. Then this is to copy and paste the formats, and here you are copying and pasting the column width, and here in these two programs you're trying to copy and paste as a transposed values. In this program we're actually trying to copy and paste the data into different sheets. Okay, so any doubts you have? You can ask me if you have any doubts.
No, sir, I'm good. Deepak, yeah.
Chitra?
No, sir, no doubts.
Okay, proceed.
Yes, sir, fine, it's fine.
Okay, fine. So let's proceed. Okay. Next topic will be how to insert and delete columns and rows. Let's go here. I'll take the same copy of it. Let's say I'll just make a copy of it. I'll name it as insert delete. Let me make some data like this. I just inserted some data to make it as a table. Fine. So let's say I have a table. Let me format it quickly. Just put a border and then I'll remove these grid lines. See, let's assume I have one table like this. Fine. I want to insert a column in E. Okay, I want to insert a column here. If I want to insert a column, I can do it manually. But what if I want to do the same thing through macro? Say Alt F11, insert a separate module, F4, I'll say mod underscore, I'll say insert delete. So here we'll rename the sheet as well. Right. So first we'll see how to insert a column. Sub insert column, but let's see how we can insert a single column. I want to insert the column in column E. Say WKS insert delete dot range of. I have to mention the column name now. I'm inserting in column E, but the row number you can give anything because it is inserting the entire column. I'll say 1 dot entire column dot insert. When I say this, see the sheet name, the range where I need to insert the columns, entire column means this entire column like this, dot insert. Now if I say Fi, see one column got insert. Let's go back. I want to delete, say sub delete column, a single column to be deleted, wks insert delete dot range of, I'll say E1 dot entire column dot delete. Let me say Fi, see the column which was inserted got deleted. Fine, let's go back. What if I want to insert multiple columns? So sub insert column, I'll say multiple, wks insert delete dot range of, I'll mention E1 to G1 dot entire column dot insert. See, now I'm mentioning the range, say from E to G, that means from E to G. So I'll get 3 columns which will get inserted. So see F5, see 3 columns got inserted. Fine, let's go back. Let me just copy the same thing. Instead of again and again typing, we'll just try to modify this one. If you want, you can type, or you can just try to modify this. See, I'll say delete column, multiple columns. Here I'm trying to delete, say using this delete. Now these 3 columns are there. I'll try to delete these 3 columns. Let's say Fi, see, got deleted. Fine. So we understood about how to insert and delete single column, multiple column. Let's see how to do the same thing for rows. Let me just go here, say sub insert row underscore single, say wks insert delete range of, let's say I want to insert a row in 7th row. Say now for me column name is not important, for me row number is important. I'll say row number is 7 dot entire row dot insert. I'll say Fi, see it got inserted. Let's go back. I want to delete, say sub insert delete row single, wks insert delete range A7 entire row dot delete. See, now I had inserted one row here, this row, say Fi got deleted. Okay. Next, how to insert multiple rows. Sub insert row, I'll say multiple, wks insert delete range of, I'll say A7 to A10 dot entire row dot insert. Say from A7 to A10, that means from A7 to A10 I'm inserting 4 rows. Say Fi, see 4 rows got inserted. I need to delete. Let me copy the same thing, paste it here. I'll say delete. Here I'll change this to delete. Say Fi, see those 4 rows which I had inserted will get deleted. So this is for inserting and deleting the rows for specific columns. Now what we'll do, we'll see how we can use this in our Excel sheet itself. So every time we used to run the macro in VB editor, but now we'll see how we can run these macros by using a button in front end itself. So what I'll do, let me go here and say insert, and here let me take one shape. I'll again show you, go to insert, here I have this illustration group, click here, I'll have this shape, and I can take one shape here and put it somewhere here. So what we'll do, we'll say plus, and let me format this quickly. Take one more, let's say minus. If you want, I can increase the font size so that the button looks. See, if I click on this plus, one column should get inserted. If I click on this minus, a column should get deleted. So how to do this? Already I have written a code here. Say insert column, that is single. See here, I've given E1. So what I'll do, just copy this. On this button, right click. When I right click, scroll down here, I'll get this assign macro. Click on this assign macro and then paste the macro which you need to assign for this and say OK. See, now I don't have to go here to VB editor and then run this F5 or click on this button. I can just click the button which I've assigned. See, can you see that? It got inserted. Again, if I press this, see, E1. So if I keep pressing, I'll be getting this column inserted. Fine. I need to delete. Again, I have this E1. It says delete column, single, right click, assign macro, paste it, say OK. I'll click on the C. This column is getting deleted. This is for the fixed column E1. Now suppose if I use this insert column for multiple, say right click, again I'll use the same shape for different macro. I'm just trying to assign a different macro, and here I'll say delete multiple columns. Assign macro, say OK. See, if I click on this, what will happen? It will run this macro, that is from E1 to G1, that is from year till year. Click here, see. Now if I want to delete, if I click on this, it will get deleted. But here it is specific to some columns. But what if I want to work on something where if I select, let's say I want a column to be inserted here, I'll select here and click on this plus button, the column should get inserted here. Or if I click here, if I click on this button, I should get the column inserted here. So I want the column to be inserted wherever I'm selecting. So for that, what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll write a separate program, sub insert column, say active cell. Just say active cell dot entire column dot insert. Let's do the same thing for delete as well. Let's say delete. Here I'll say delete. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll assign these macros. Right click, assign macro, and I'll say okay. This is for inserting column, that is selected column, active cell column. Then I'll copy this, right click, assign macro, and I'll insert this. Now let me select here and I'll say insert. See, I'm selecting this column H. I'm clicking on this button. Can you see that? It got inserted here because the code what I had written was for active cell. Let's say I'll go here and I'll say insert in column N. See, it got inserted. So wherever I select, wherever the cell is active, it will get inserted. Now suppose if you want to delete, select this column, column M, delete. See, so wherever I'm actually selecting, and if I'm clicking on this, it will get inserted or deleted. This is for active cell, but not always I want only one column. Let's say my requirement is I want to insert 3 columns. See, I'm selecting this, and if I'm clicking on this, I'll get only one column because the program what I had written is active cell. See, when I click, that means this will become active. When I'm selecting, it is just a selection. But what is the active cell? This is the active cell. See, I'll go here, I select from here like this. Can you see that? This is the active cell. If I say insert, see, it will get inserted in the active cell. But how will I actually do something where if I select, these 4 columns has to be inserted? For that, slight change has to be done. So what is that? Say instead of active cell, I'll say selection. Say selection dot entire column dot insert. Let's do the same thing for delete as well. It's delete, and I'll make it as delete. Now let me copy this. Say right click, assign macro. I will assign this macro. For delete, right click, assign macro, assign macro. Now let me select this. I selected 3 columns. Let me click on this. See, 3 columns got inserted because I given it as selection. Let me select these 2 columns only. See, only 2 columns got inserted. Let me select say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and say insert. See, 6 columns got inserted because that was outside the table. Let me delete this. We'll take it from here. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say insert. See. Now I want to delete all this. Select at once and say delete. See, it will get deleted. So you don't have to go and select each cell and delete the columns. So this is for active cell and say selection. Same thing can be done for row as well. Let's take 2 shapes. Let me change the color of it. Format. I'll make it as blue. Let's keep this for rows. We'll go back. Say sub insert row active cell. Say active cell dot range of active cell dot entire column dot insert. Same thing I'll do for delete as well. See, this is for active cell. Let me assign the macro. Right click, assign macro. Say OK. Then again copy this, right click, assign macro. Fine. See, active cell. Let's say I'm selecting the 7th row. Click on this. Oh, sorry, I made it as active column. We'll make it as active entire row. Okay. Let's delete this. Select this. Click here. See, wherever I'm selecting, the row is getting.
I can't hear you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, sir, it got hung for some couple of minutes actually.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes. Sir.
Proceed, Chitra. You guys can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it's audible.
Okay. Let me repeat again. So what I was telling is, I was trying to write the same macro what we wrote for this insert and delete column. Same thing we are doing for rows. Okay. So this is for active cell. Active cell means whatever cell I'm selecting, I'm trying to insert the row. Say I'll go here, as in the macro here. See, if I select this, click on this, it will get deleted like this. See, this is for active cell. Again, I told you when I'm actually selecting and dragging, see, this will be the active cell. If I say insert, the active cell will be inserted. Now, suppose if you want to do a selection for the selected rows, then what I'll do, I'll say sub insert row, say selection. Say selection dot entire row dot insert. Same thing let's do for deletion as well. Say delete, say delete. Now let me copy this, right click, assign macro, then for delete. Right, now this is for selection. See, the previous one was for active cell. Let me select and say insert. See, I'll select only these 2 rows and click insert, and this also can insert for single row as well. See, like what we do for active cell, because this is selection. Delete. See, select these 4, delete, select this, delete. Let me save this. So understood. So if you are actually working on any dashboards or say any templates, and if you want to write a macro for inserting or deleting the columns, you can use these codes. Again, these are very simple ones, so you can practice it easily. Okay, so any doubts in this? Deepak, Chitra, Prasid?
No, sir.
No? Repeat. Okay, next one. Next is similar to this, but we'll see how to hide and unhide the rows and columns. Hide, unhide. Okay, let me delete these shapes so that you should not get confused. Now when I say hide, unhide, it will just hide the columns or hide the rows. So why we are actually using this? Say sometimes what will happen, I don't want to show some data. So in that case, I'll be using this hiding and unhiding of the columns or rows. Let's go back. Say insert module F4, I'll say mod underscore hide unhide. Same code, sub say hide column, I'll say single column. Say double case, so we have not renamed this sheet. Sorry, we'll just quickly rename the sheet. Say double case hide unhide dot range of, I'll say E1 dot entire column dot hidden equals true. See, previously I mentioned it as entire column dot insert or delete. Now we are trying to hide or unhide. Say here, what I'll do is I'll say entire column dot hidden equals true. That means I'm trying to hide. Let me say fi. Can you see that? The column E got hidden. Fine. I want to unhide this. Go here. Just say unhide. And here instead of true, I'll say false. Now let me run this. See, it got unhidden. This is for single column. Let's say I want to do for multiple columns. Say sub hide column. Say multiple. Double case hide, unhide, range of say E1 to G1 dot entire column dot hidden equals true. See, now let's say Fi from column E to G got hidden. Next, I want to unhide that. Unhide column multiple. Say hide unhide dot range of E1 to G1 dot entire column dot hidden equals false. See, the columns which are hidden, if I say Fi, see, it got unhidden. Next, similarly, if you want to do the same thing for rows, then what we'll do, say sub hide row underscore, I'll say single row, double case hide unhide dot range of, let's say A7 dot entire row dot hidden equals true. See, now the column 7 will get hidden if I execute this. See, 7th row got hidden. Let's go back. Let's say I want to unhide that. Let me just copy the same thing and I'll make it as unhide, and here I'll make it as false. See, unhide row, a single row. I'll go here, I'll try to execute this. I'll say Fi. See, the row 7 got unhidden. Fine. Let's go back. Say sub hide row underscore, I'll say multiple. Say double case hide unhide dot range of say A7 to A10 dot entire row dot hidden equals true. Say F5. See, 7 to 10 got hidden. Now I want to unhide. Let me copy this, and here I'll say unhide, and here we'll make it as false. Let me run this. F5. See, it got unhidden. So it is very similar to the previous what we learned about insert delete. Here we're just trying to use this entire column dot hidden equals true or false. So when I say true, it will get hidden. If I say false, it will get unhidden. Okay, any doubts in this? No doubts? Will you proceed?
No, sir.
Okay. Next we'll see how we can use this option for shapes. Now suppose if I'm working on a shape, I want to hide or unhide. So what we'll do, we'll go here and say shapes. Let me create some shape. Okay, and I'll shade this, something like this. I'll make a copy of it, say Control C and Control V. I'll make it say blue color, and here I'll make it red color. I'll just hide the grid line, so I have this red, blue and green. Now before working on something, I told you the objects has to be renamed. So I've renamed the sheet here. Now let me rename the objects as well. Select this, it says rectangle 1, rectangle 2 and rectangle 3. But it will be difficult for me to recognize which one is green or blue or red. So what I'll do, let me select this and I'll say SHP red. So SHP is nothing but shape. So here, how to rename, I will show you. Select the shape. Here I have this address bar. See, here just select, say SHP red and say enter. See, next select this, I'll say SHP blue. The next SHP green. Enter. See, I renamed these three objects. Let's go back. I will insert a module. Say F4 mod underscore, I'll make it as shapes. Let's say sub hide shape. First we'll see how we can hide the shape. Let's say I want to hide only this red. Say WKS. Did we rename that shape sheet? Let me rename this first. So say WKS shape dot. Now we should not give range because this is not range, this is an object. So I'll mention it as shapes and I'll specify which shape has to be hidden or shown. Say dot visible. Okay, in the previous one we had hidden equals true. Now we should say visible. When I say visible equals true, that means it is visible. If I say visible equals false, it will become non-visible. Say equals, I'll say false. Visible equals false. Don't get confused with this one. See, hidden equals true or false. Hidden is true means it is hiding. Hidden equals false means it will unhide. But here in shape it's not like that. It is visible. Visible true means it will show. Visible false means it will hide. Okay. Let me run this. See, the shape red got hidden. Now if you want to get back that shape, go here. I'll make it as true. Say unhide. Say F5. See, I'll get back. Fine. Let me go back. Now let's say I'll create 3 buttons. I'll take the same thing, but I'll convert this into button like this. Just make small buttons like this. And I'll keep it like this. Just imagine if I click on this red button, for me, I should get this red shape. If I click on this blue button, I should get this blue shape. If I click on this green button, I should get this green shape. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll go here, we'll write a macro, say sub show, say wks shapes, and I'll say shp red dot visible equals false. So what we'll do is, we'll go here, we'll hide all the shapes first. Say blue, and I'll say green. Okay. Show shape, I'll say red. Now what I've done is, I'm trying to hide all the shapes, but here since I want to show this red, I'll make it as true. Understood? See, here I want to show red, so other two I'm trying to hide it. Let me copy the same thing and I'll paste it here. Here I'll say blue. What I'll do, I'll make this as false and I'll make this blue as true. See, now when I use this code, the shape blue will be shown. Let me copy this. Now I'll say green. And here I'll make this as true and this one as false. Right? Okay. So three programs you have written. One is for red, one is for blue, and one is for green. So what we'll do, we'll select this, three, and go to format and align this like this. That is all one below the other. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll take this SHP red, select here, right click, and then assign macro, paste it. Then again, select this macro, right click, assign macro, paste it. Then here, select this green and say assign macro and paste it. Here, can you see this? Here, this also is saying SHP red because I just copied and pasted. I'll make it as button. Just to change the name, otherwise it'll have the same name, so it'll affect this shape as well. I'll just go here and I'll change the name of it, that's all, so that it will not work on these shapes as well. See, now I'll just try to click on this red. Can you see that? So what's happening here, it is running this code. Here what it is doing, it is hiding these two shapes and it is showing only this red. Now let me click on this blue. See, for me it is actually showing as if the color is changing of the shape, but backend what's happening, it is trying to hide the shape depending on the program what I've written. See, I click on this red, the red button is shown. Click on this blue, the blue button is shown, the blue shape is shown. Then click on this button, the green button, the green shape is shown. That means what we're trying to do here is, we're just trying to hide and unhide the shapes, but for the user, so it actually shows as if the shape of this box is getting changed. See, okay. So this is for hiding and unhiding. If you want, you can use dot delete, which will delete the shape. Let's say I'll create one shape, insert shape. Let me insert one circle. I will delete this shape. Say SHP circle. Then go back. We'll say sub delete shape. Say WKS shapes dot shapes of SHP circle dot delete. Just give delete. Now if I run this, see, that shape will get deleted. Now if you go back and if I run this, it will throw error. That means the item with the specified name wasn't found. So you should be very careful with this when you're getting this error. This error you get, say the item with the specified name wasn't found. This will occur when you don't have a proper name. Let's go back to the same program. Let's say here I just changed this. I made it as red icon. Now if I go see in this SHP blue, that is in this program, in this button, if I run this, see, it will throw error. It says the item with the specified name wasn't found. That means whenever you get this error, go and check the shape names what you have given is proper. Let me delete this. Now it will run. See, so when you are using these shapes, the names are very important. That's why I'll always tell you, try to name the objects so that it will become easy for you to recognize the object and work on that program. If you're not naming it properly, so these kind of errors will occur. So that's why it's a good practice. As soon as you start any program or say any file, try to rename all the objects. It can be your sheet, it can be your module, or it can be say shapes, anything. So if you make any mistake, and again some people actually go and say while typing they'll give some space here. See, I have a space here. This also will throw error. See, the item with the specified name wasn't found because everything is very meticulously checked. Now let me remove this. So how to actually overcome this? Don't type these names. So how to do that? Select this shape. See, select here, Control C, and then try to paste it like this instead of typing. So here I might make some mistakes. Say instead of SHP red, I would have given SPH red. See, again this also you will get error when I run this. See, so that's why always what you do is while you are working on something like this, what you do, just try to copy and then paste it so that you don't have to type it. So you're just trying to paste that name, the exact name will be pasted, and you will not get that error. You can avoid these kind of silly errors what you're getting while executing the program. Okay, so I'll stop here. So we have discussed about copy and paste, hide, unhide, insert and delete, and how to use the shapes. Okay, so what you do is just practice these things. Along with this, I'll be sharing you some more files which we'll be discussing on Monday as well. So you have 2 days, say Saturday and Sunday, just work on these things. If you have any doubts, just get back to me. Okay, so if you have any doubts, please ask me, I'll answer